There are more than 40 recognized species of the molly fish, but only a handful of them are popularly kept in aquariums. First identified by naturalists during the 1820s, molly fish are American fish that are primarily found in the wild in areas of North and South America. Since around 1899, the molly has been a popular fish to keep in freshwater aquariums. All species of the mollyfish are able to hybridize with one another, so their appearances span many colors, patterns and configurations. Most species still have large populations in the wild, so this fish is not considered to be endangered. Technically omnivores, they feed primarily on plant materials. Male mollyfish, who tend to be much smaller than female mollies, have a specialized anal fin called a gonopodium. This rod-shaped organ is used to deposit sperm in female mollies, who can retain it for extended periods of time. The selective breeding of molly fish through the years has produced a dazzling array of colors and patterns. These fish also vary widely in terms of the shape of their dorsal and tail fins. Hybridized versions of molly fish started appearing during the 1920s, and they quickly became popular with aquarium enthusiasts. Although hybridized mollies are abundant in artificial environments, they aren't typically seen in the wild. Mollies are shoaling fish as opposed to schooling fish. This means that although they tend to travel in groups, they do so more for social purposes than for traveling in specific directions with each other. The most common varieties of mollyfish that are typically available for aquariums are the common molly, the black molly, the white molly fish, the sailfin molly and the Mexican molly. These species are also the most abundant to be found naturally in the wild. In the wild, the common molly exhibits a dull, silvery color. While their bodies tend to be light gray in color, mating males may exhibit more of a greenish-blue color. The sides, backs and dorsal fins of many mollies are dotted with rows of spots. These spots can be so crowded together that they almost become one large pattern. Most species of mollyfish have chunky, thick-set bodies, rounded fins, tall, angular dorsal fins, and pointed heads and mouths. Their upturned mouths are designed to help them to skim the upper layer of the water, which is rich in oxygen. Their tails are convex. In the wild, mollies can grow to be as large as 20 centimeters or so in length. However, most molly fish average between 5 to 13 centimeters in length. Males tend to be smaller than females, and female mollies usually have rounder bodies. One of the biggest distinguishing characteristics of male mollies is their gonopodiums. These are specialized anal fins that double as narrow copulatory organs. Shaped like rods, gonopodiums are used during reproduction to deposit sperm into female mollies. Unlike many fish, mollies don't travel in schools, rather, they travel in shoals. In a shoal, multiple fish band together for social reasons. In a school, they do so to travel in the same direction together. Approximately 1/4 of all fish shoal their whole lives, and the molly is one of them. They tend to shoal in the hundreds, and the male-to-female ratio is usually around 1 to 2. Top feeders, mollies use their upturned mouths to exploit films of oxygen-rich surface water. As a result, they are tolerant and able to survive in oxygen-depleted habitats. Although peaceful, mollies are also active swimmers. Male mollies occasionally exhibit aggressive behavior, and they are known to aggressively pursue females. They provide no parental care to their young, and adult mollies often prey on young mollies. Mollies are diurnal, which means that they are awake by day and asleep by night. They are good community fish, and males tend to establish hierarchies. American fish, mollies are mostly found in the wild in areas of North and South America. However, over the last few decades, they have been introduced in countries like Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, Israel and even parts of Eastern Europe. Molly fish prefer to live in shallow surface waters. In the wild, they are usually found in loosely vegetated coastal streams. However, these fish are known to do well in lakes, estuaries, deltas, swamps, ponds, marshes and even in ephemeral places like roadside ditches. They prefer to stay under floating vegetation or near structures to stay out of view of predators. Ideally, they like water with a pH range of between 7.5 and 8.5 and a temperature of between 64 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Different species of mollies are found in different places. The common molly, for example, is typically found throughout Mexico down through northern South America. The sailfin molly is found along the Gulf of Mexico and along the southeastern coast of the U.S. The Mexican molly is located in southeastern Mexico and is primarily found in the coastal Yucatan. Molly fish are technically omnivores because they not only consume plant materials but are also known to consume crustaceans, insects and worms. However, their diets overwhelmingly consist of plant materials, so these fish are practically herbivores. Mollies particularly enjoy algae, but they are known to consume vast amounts of other phytoplankton. Mollies are not endangered. The Mexican molly, for example, is not listed on the IUCN Red List of threatened species, and the common molly is listed as data deficient. This means that enough data does not exist to determine whether or not the fish should be regarded as endangered. However, it is believed that most species have fairly large, steady populations in the wild. The sailfin molly has a status of least concern, which means that it is unlikely to be considered an endangered species anytime soon. In terms of predators, the molly's biggest threat comes from larger fish. Because many species of molly are quite small, especially male mollies, they tend to be easy pickings for larger fish like largemouth bass. Aquatic birds, aquatic insects, amphibians, reptiles and even mammals may all seek out the fish as prey. That is especially true because mollies are surface feeders. Although they tend to hide under vegetation and other objects, they must emerge to feed, and that is when they become vulnerable to predators. Other common predators of the mollyfish include giant water bugs, American alligators, snowy egrets, bullfrogs and raccoons. Additionally, mollies occasionally fall prey to other mollies. These fish are not particularly aggressive, but they are known to fin nip, a common problem in aquarium settings. Their fry are also vulnerable to being attacked and eaten by male mollies, so young mollies must be kept separate from males in aquariums.